Hi, friends. Welcome back to
Wish You Love Podcast.
I'm Marilyn.
And I'm Jazmine.
And thank you so much for clicking on this video. Be sure to follow us at Wish You Love Pod on Instagram, TikTok, and also listen to us on YouTube if you like watching us, or Spotify or Apple Podcasts if you just want to listen to us on your drive to work. We hope you're having a great day so far.
Yeah, and if you're new here, or maybe if you've been listening to us for a while, please feel free to check out one of the links on our bio. It'll have a Google Doc form where you can submit an anonymous question to us, or maybe even a topic that you want us to talk about. So please feel free to submit some stuff on there. We definitely want you to be a part of the pod, and we want to cater to you guys and what you guys want to listen to, or try our best to give our advice to anything that you want to share with us.
And if you ever just, maybe you don't even want to fill out the Google Doc, you can always DM us and let us know if you want to be anonymous or not anonymous. Maybe you want to be shouted out on the podcast. We can do that as well.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start the episode with an opener question. And so name a time when you've turned lemons into lemonade. So pretty much it's like when you make a situation that could have been super sour into something really good.
I can start us off.
Yes, please.
So I know with work, it was a very hectic work week. I had taken a day off, and my colleague, who basically myself and them, we run an inbox together. And so they had to take the time off. They weren't here. They went to like an expo or something for work. And so it ultimately ended up being me alone, just kind of trying my best to push through all this work and answering all these emails and like fulfilling their duties as well. And, you know, I feel like that's kind of a moment where I could have been super sour about it, because it was a lot of like pressure and expectations. If you guys remember, I'm fairly new to this role and department. So it was a lot of like, oh my gosh, am I going to mess up? Am I answering these emails correctly? Am I providing the perfect customer service that I need to for the people around me? But ultimately, the way I made it into lemonade was just kind of, I sat down, I grabbed a piece of paper, and I wrote down everything that I needed to do. Like just anything that came up to mind, even the simplest thing as send an email to this person, or walk downstairs and, you know, hand this envelope to so-and-so. Like I just really sat down, wrote a list, grabbed a scratch piece of paper, wrote it down. And then from there, I just turned it into lemonade by being like, I got this. I know what I bring to the table. I know I have customer service in me. I know that I'm organized. I know that I get it done. So I'm like, I got this. And so I just, you know, tackled through it, and I made lemonade because I tackled it with confidence, and I, you know, went a little bit above and beyond to what was normally done. And I could tell that it was well received, because my manager at the end of the week, she came to me and she just congratulated me, and she wanted me to know that she was really proud of like my work week this week, and how she noticed the little things that I was doing, like that extra email that I was sending with pictures attached, and just the things that I was doing. So it felt really good. And I think that's like my example of like, I could have been super sour, you guys. I could have been like, oh my gosh, like, you know, they're not here. I'm here by myself. Like I have so much to do. Like, you know, blah, 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 blah. But I wasn't like that. I was like, you know what? I got this. Like, let me just sit down, write it down, and like get it done. So yeah, that's my example.
That's a really good example. Yeah, because you could have been just so sour like a lemon, but instead you remained your calm, sweet self, you know, because it's super easy to get angry and you know, but that's really good that in the situation you were able just to get it done and remember that you're the girl for the job. It's so interesting because I had thought of something amazing, and then it literally out of my head when I was listening to her talk. I was like, dang it, what was it? And I lost it. But I do have one that is related to my job as well. I wish I remembered the other one, but I can't remember it. That happens for a reason. Maybe somebody needed to hear this. But so this is my first class, right? And I realized, you know, we're week 6. This is when I had the realization, week 6, beginning of week 6. And I realized I didn't do enough grammar lessons. And so I was like, crap. Like I need to implement grammar lessons But at that point, we were going to already go on spring break. And so I will say I was a little bit of a lemon at myself because I'm very hard on myself. And I was just like, dang it, Marilyn, like, why didn't you, do a 1 weekly grammar lesson? Like, but I reminded myself, no, they were a lot lower leveled than what the class is. So I had to go at their pace, but now they're ready for grammar and it is what it is. I wish I would have done that, but my lemonade is me. I just took the time to do really great grammar lessons. So I taught one that week, later on that week, and it was a really good lesson. They got it at the end of like my lesson and they were able to, exhibit the rules of the grammar lesson and show that they understood and were able to do it on their own. And so it was really good. And so now I know moving forward that every single week I'm going to have a grammar lesson ready, right? And they're going to practice it, say it out loud. Like it's going to be, a thing in my class now. It's going to be a grammar lesson. It's going to be a thing every beginning of the week. And now I'm going to take it with me whenever I get another class I know the first week, no grammar lesson because they're really just situating. I have to see what level they are. That's the hard part about ESL. You would think that they would be put into the correct level of the class and they're not. It doesn't happen like that. But now I know that I need to implement grammar more. So that's how I turned lemons into lemonade. I didn't say stay sour too long. I was like, well, let's get the ball rolling. Let me at least do a lesson this week. And I've done grammar lessons, but what I mean is like a really in-depth one where it takes like an hour to teach it. And that's what I mean. Because obviously we touch on grammar every single day of the class. But what I mean is like, for example, I'm teaching them verb tenses. So I want them to be able to recognize the tense, the simple present tense, and know the formula that is needed because there is like different formulas. I think the last class we had done the present perfect progressive. Yeah, I think so. And it was pretty much the subject plus has/been plus plus ing verb. So that's kind of like an English type of formula, and that's how you fill in your sentence. For those of us that are native English speakers, it's so natural for us. I have been working all day long. I is the subject. Have is what we use, have or has. Have, we use have for I. I have been, past tense, continuing in the present, continuing on into the future. Been working. Working is the base verb of work plus ing. So that's how you make the sentence. Got a little bit of my teaching here. But yeah, so anyways, the point of it is that I'm learning as I go and I can't beat myself up on it. Yeah.
I know, I was like, she's getting into her teaching mode.
I had to explain it.
I'm like, I'm gonna let her teach. We all leave with lessons. No, that's awesome. I'm glad that you were able to, maybe the way I see it, again with the lemon and the lemonades theory, is you made a batch that maybe was a little too sweet, but now you know to lessen the sugar, right, or add more water for the next batch.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
So it worked out. Yeah. Well, hopefully you guys all can think like that moving forward, or maybe if you are experiencing a lemon right now or have any lemons right now, make them into lemonade and let's move forward with life and what it brings. So jumping into today's question, again, with our theme of blooming and spring, the question is, what do I appreciate most about the season of my life? And because Marilyn and I love to do lists, we're going to take a moment to list 3 things that we are enjoying at this moment in this season. You want to start us off?
Yeah. I think the most exciting part of this season of our lives is there's so much to accomplish. We talked about in the last episode of goals and how I was even like, wow, I've accomplished so many of my goals. Now I have to think of other ones. And we have just so much to do. We have so much to be excited for, to look forward for, to work for. And I think that's for me the number one most exciting thing. I think obviously when we get to an older age, let's say 80 years old, we're like, we've done everything. You know what I mean? Like this is the time of our lives that we're going to talk about, you know, this is pivotal as well, a pivotal time in our life of, you know, what career path do we go on? Are we going to go on a career path that pays well? You know, are we going to stay in our relationships, stay faithful, stay committed in our relationships to get married, or are we going to separate? You know, are we going to have children? Can we have children? It's just such a pivotal time in our lives. And that's what for me is my number one most excited part of living. Number two is just so much to learn. I feel very moldable in my career. I am, you know, somebody that if a college were to, you know, hire me full time, they can mold me into whatever professor they want. And that's the truth because this is my first semester teaching and I'm just moldable because I'm learning so much. I'm learning my teaching style. I'm learning what I like, what I don't like. Yeah. So I feel like just being moldable, being able to change, because once you do get older, you are kind of set. Like, nope, these are my boundaries. I have learned from my past. This is what I like. This is what I don't like. And I kind of like that I'm learning what I like and what I don't like, right? So that would be my second part is just I'm still in the beginning phase of my career. And thirdly would just be being single, right? So I am in a relationship, but I'm not married. And this is a very exciting part of our life. We have no real responsibilities, right? We don't got to worry about a husband. We don't got to worry about our kids. We don't got to worry about a mortgage. This is an exciting part of our lives because it's probably the least stressful part of our lives. Once we start having kids, we're thinking about other people other than ourselves. Right now, all we think about is ourselves. What do I want to eat? Not what do the kids want to eat, right? So I think those are my top three most exciting parts of right now, the life that I'm living. Mm-hmm.
I love it. I think a lot of the things that you said were awesome, and especially the way you explained them. Like when you said being single, I was like, hold up. Is there something I don't know about? What are you talking about, single? But then the way when you explained it, I'm like, oh my God, that is so true. Like, yes, we are living for ourselves right now. Like it even changes when you get married, right? Now you have to cook for two. Or now you know, I don't know, like what you can usually be like, oh, I'll just do laundry tomorrow. Like it's for yourself. Now you have someone else that maybe
mixed
like
with yours.
Yeah, like maybe they're like, no, I need these pants like tomorrow, like something. So very well said. And it's true. Like made me think of, because we're both living in like a similar season.
Yes.
So I'm like, let me piggyback and like kind of see what I can relate to as well.
I'm sorry. Every time my friend Kimberly knows this, I have a very imaginative head. So I just thought of a piggy and you're on his back. I was like, I don't know. Sorry. I just imagined a pig.
As I look at your pigs on the couch right now.
You're like, right.
But okay, let me repeat the question here. The question today is, what do I appreciate most about this season of my life? And we're going to take a moment to list 3 things that we're enjoying in this moment. So for me, my career, I think I am enjoying the fact that I'm just starting. And sometimes I feel like I think too far ahead where I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is what I want and this is where I'm going to get to and everything. But I want to take a moment to just enjoy and like get excited for what this is going to bring to me. For those of you that remember, I had spoken in the previous episode that I had a pathway in my current job that I'm at. I've been working in different teams, but my pathway was always to get into HR and like a certain area of HR. And then life happened and God brought me like a whole nother department that I didn't know I was going to be working in, that I never would have imagined myself working in. And going into 4 months now at this point, and just seeing people like compliment me for the work that I'm doing, or like hearing people say like, I could totally see you in this role. Like you were made for this role, or like, I'm so glad that you're in this role. You bring this into this role. Like it's exciting. And I think it is like a good time in my season because it's unexpected. Like, me being in this role is unexpected. What's going to happen to me in this role is very like in the blue. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know the next steps for it, but I'm excited for it. And I want to appreciate the fact that I'm here and that people see the value that I bring in this team and in this role. So I'm excited to see like what that brings, if that is continuing to move up in this role or in this team, or maybe changing the dynamic of it. Like, I'm just excited to take and learn and grow from there. I would say the second thing that I am appreciating and loving this season is definitely my relationship with people, like my relationship with Angel, my relationship with my friends. I've also talked about this a lot. Like, circles get smaller. People that you want to hang out with gets a little bit more like narrow, and like who you want to spend time with. But I'm excited, and I appreciate everyone that's in my life at this moment in this season. And I think especially like all of our couple friends, like you and Anthony, like it's fun to know that we're going on double dates with people that are like-minded and that, are in like long-term relationships and are also having similar goals and thoughts about their future. I know like an example of that was I cannot get over when we went to Disney Walk. Downtown Disney. I cannot get over when we went to downtown Disney because that was just a very spontaneous thing that we did. The boys were over, Marilyn and I were here, and we always like tend to go out after recording. And so I remember Marilyn just brought it in the blue, like, why don't we go to downtown Disney? Like, I have a pass, like we, don't have to pay for parking. We get discount on the food. And long story short, like that experience itself, like that was so fun and fulfilling. Like, we ended up leaving because I had to go to my brother's house and we were wrapping up the day anyways. But I know that like prior to me even knowing that I was going to go to my brother's house, I was enjoying just being there because it was like the first time Marilyn and I like were not Disneyland, but at least like downtown Disney. So very similar. And like the boys were there. We were able to like enjoy dinner and like walk and like check things out, like the stores and stuff. And so moments like that, like spending time and appreciating my relationships that I have in this season and like what it's bringing, like that's what I am excited for and that I am enjoying at this moment. Yeah, and then the last one, again, I'm like looking at it. What I appreciate the most of the season in my life and what I'm enjoying the most is preparing for my future. I know we talk about living in the now, and I promise I am living and I'm going to practice living in the now. But Marilyn also mentioned there's always room to picture your future too. So I think I'm envisioning, yes. So I think I'm really excited and happy that I'm in a season right now where I'm not in the next season yet, but I'm at least picturing it. And I'm like, seeing TikToks that pop up and saving them because I'm like, ooh, I'll come back to this when it's time, or I'll just save it here so that I have it to maybe look back into when I'm ready for that. Mm-hmm. So I am excited, like just the thought again of like marriage and moving out and, going on trips with my boyfriend, like just him and I, because we have really strict parents, so we don't really do that. Those things, like I am enjoying and appreciating like the small planning and, envisioning of it while also staying in the present. But yeah, those are my 3.
I love your 3, and we definitely have to go. We're planning on going to Disney together, actually. Have to, I'm Disney Soul Queen, so it's like she has to go with me. No, just kidding. But yeah, we're planning on going to Disney together one of these days, probably in June. Mm-hmm. And I'm just so excited because I love our couple time because it's usually like me and Jazmine talking, and then we call them the boys. It's so funny. The boys are talking. And then sometimes, she'll talk to Anthony and I'll talk to Angel. And I love that we all have relationships with each other in different ways. And it's just I value our friendship. Mm-hmm. And it was such a fun day to go to downtown Disney. I just remember like when it was time for us to go, because she had to go to her brother's house, it started like pouring and we were just like hiding under a jacket. And it was just and I took a picture too. And it's just such a fun funny memory. And we definitely still need to post our downtown Disney pictures on our Instagram. We haven't yet, but maybe when this episode drops, we'll post it. But yes, and I just am so excited for this part of our lives. And I'm proud of our past moments in our life, excited for the now, and even more excited for the future.
Lots to look forward to. And I hope you guys take the moment to reflect on that. And yeah, just like Marilyn said, get excited for the now, be proud of what happened, and be even more excited for what's to come.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this episode. We hope you reflected. Make sure to comment, subscribe, like.
And above all else,
We wish you love.
Bye, friends.